Why, hello. I hear it's the 1920s. Oh, wait. Did someone mean 2020s? I wanted to show off my new hat and my new interest in makeup, so here we are. I did not do this for the video I just filmed, so it's like, well, I'll do it here. I've been getting a lot into the 1920s if it isn't clear enough. I swear, I have something planned the whole day as I'm thinking about, oh, I gotta stream tonight. What am I gonna do? How am I gonna open it? And then goes right out my head as soon as I hit go live. Oh no, I'm live. Welcome, one and all who has decided to join me. Oh, I forgot to pop out this chat. I will want to have done that. Let me set that up in chat properties. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna reformat that. I can now pin a message to the top of my chat. I sure can I? Well, maybe one day I'll utilize that feature. Alright, now that we've got that, I'm personally gonna move this over. Nah. We're gonna figure out all my formatting. Oh shoot. Is that? I should have figured this out before. Okay. We're gonna put that there, and we're gonna put the chat over. That's not the chat. That is not the chat. Wow, this is content, isn't this? Alright. And see how it looks on the stream. Okay. And actually, just so that I make sure that I can see myself, I'm gonna alter this completely because I want to make sure that my internet is working and I'm doing things. Alright, make sure that still looks good. Yeah. Alright, we'll call that peachy. Alright, so let's say our hellos. Hello, Cutter Historical. I don't know how they're going to do it. Did they have a Degrassi Reddit thread? I did not post a thread, but I am snagging other threads that people have posted. Wow, it is dark. I'm gonna up the light. I swear, it was a lot brighter when I had started, like just before I hit start stream. It could be just my maybe it's just my camera. Yeah, I think it's my camera, so I'm gonna down that a little bit so I don't bake in here. Alright. Yeah, so I'm actually gonna be just taking prompts and questions other people have asked or put up on the subreddit and sort of responding to them, because I do have a lot of thoughts on some of the things asked there, good, bad, and just some silly. So I'm excited to check that out. Hello, Mimi Q. Hello, hello, Momo Tots. Welcome, one and all, to the show. I hope y'all are having a good night. I'm having a pretty good day so far. I haven't gotten any of the work done that I intended on completing, so that's where I'm at. I mean, per usual, like 20 minutes before the stream, I was even getting together the things that I was going to respond to. YouTube's not... Sorry, YouTube was like trying to tell me, I think that, things are being bad right now, error. I don't know what it's talking about. Is the stream going okay for you guys? As always, let me know, because that's a concern for me. But yeah, I hardly prepared. I grabbed some threads just before I started filming, and then, oh my god, I need to actually get dressed. I didn't know what I was going to wear except for this new hat that I got. It's pretty cute, and unfortunately, it came kind of wrinkled, but I sorted it out, thankfully. Hello, Camilla Wilkerman. Hi, I love your channel. Cesar's on is probably my favorite anime. I discovered it from you. Oh my god, really? That is incredibly flattering to me, because I don't think, like, I hardly think of anyone having seen that video. Like, I know it got some views, but most of my non-Degrassi stuff does not do well. So I'm so glad I was able to introduce Sarazanmai to you. I should probably rewatch that, because it's been years since it was current, hasn't it? Hello, Freya K. Thank you, I like the hat too. I'd been looking for like flapper cloche hats. I can't remember how it's pronounced for a long time, because I've been getting into 1920s fashion, and now I've got one. So exciting, so exciting. All right, well, I suppose we could do the thing that I said I came here to do, but, you know, with these streams, we could just have a chat. We could talk, you know, do whatever. I mean, I was even so unprepared that I'm not quite buzzed yet, but give me a couple minutes and then we could chat about whatever. I don't know. For those of you who find Drunk Vamp fun, they're gonna be here at some point tonight, probably. Although I'm gonna try not to drink as much as last time, because that was rough, and I've been having a lot of issues with feeling nauseous lately, so I'd rather not tempt the devil on that. So, just make sure everything still looks good. Yep. Alright, so the first thing I saw on the Degrassi subreddit, most of these unfortunately are going to be more recent. I was trying to find like hot all time, but I don't really use Reddit, like the browser version of Reddit these days. It's mainly on the Reddit is Fun app, so it operates a bit differently. Yeah, so many tabs open, because I'd see, well, that's something I could answer. Well, that's something I could talk about. Click, click, click. That's my YouTube videos, like my browser for YouTube videos, which you could see here. I just put up so many videos that I'm either getting around to, want to remember to watch, like consistently, just stuff. Hello, the pansexual Hufflepuff. How's it going? I think I recognize you. I think I know who you are. Well, either way, welcome. I'm doing pretty all right. It's been a pretty good day so far. A little toasty in here because of the light, but we're doing peachy keen. All right, so the first one, if you haven't rewatched School's Out this summer, what are you even doing? Not rewatching School's Out. I hate to say it, but I'm not exactly a fan of that movie. It's just too depressing. I don't want to see all my favorite characters from Degrassi High and Junior High sad and depressed and angry, and it's just a movie like you watch to feel bad about things. Like, I feel like it's the angsty we're over the franchise response from the team, like, no, there is no happy endings. This is how life really is outside of high school. This is how things really go down. Sort of response to stuff. So, I like hope in my media. I can't help it. That's part of the reason, like, I actually recently tried to watch the first episode of Euphoria. I got, like, halfway through, decided no for me. And that's part of the reason why, because, I mean, for one, real life isn't even that overwhelmingly hopeless. Like, yes, some people's lives are a bit of a parade of horrible, but it doesn't happen all at once like it seems to do in Euphoria. It just doesn't feel grounded in that way. And then on top of that, I personally don't care for watching people suffer constantly. Just not for me. Really not for me. I'm a random person on a new account. Okay, I thought so. I thought I recognized that avatar. Cool. I'm a Hufflepuff too. The only thing worth it for the movie is Snake's F-bomb. I'm trying to remember it, but I guess the memeable moments that I can remember from the movie, I don't even find that funny, even out of context. I don't know. When I was at the Degrassi Degrassi Palooza in Toronto, what was that, 2015-ish? Somewhere around there. I went to a rowdy viewing of Schools Out, and I could not get into it. Maybe I needed a few drinks or something, but it's not a rowdy picture to me. Like, if I want to go to a rowdy picture, I'll go to Rocky Horror Picture Show or something. This is not the rowdy viewing for me. An Eli Goldsworthy production, and not even a fun one. This is emo Eli's, like him feeling depressed about ruining everyone's lives and not being with Claire. This isn't even high Eli's production. Frick, hey, you never finished Degrassi High? I highly recommend you do. Like, I highly recommend you watch Degrassi High and Junior High. Like, not only does it give a lot of context to what's going on with the adults in Degrassi TNG, but it's just good TV. It's just really good stuff, and it's interesting to see how a lot of the problems teenagers in TNG, Next Class, later TNG, how the problems they're facing aren't too different from what kids were facing in the late 80s, early 90s. It's interesting, and also cool to see how different time periods have different takes on the same topic, too. Same, Euphoria seems so depressing. Yeah, exactly. I think, Jules or whoever, the pale blonde girl who everyone said dressed like Sailor Moon, which is like, that's a weird reference for 2022. I mean, but either way, especially for kids, but either way, when she was about to meet the dude, like, I stopped Tarbuck there and was like, I'm done. I'm out. Tapping out. I'm all done. Do you think Winston is... Hello, Kelsey. Do you think Winston is a fault for Degrassi news thing? Because to me, if you hadn't blackmailed them, this could have been avoided. I think it's his fault insofar as the fallout of it wouldn't have been so dirty and wouldn't have hurt Frankie so much, like, if he wasn't involved with blackmail and stuff. But I can't say that the situation wasn't bad already, because, I mean, Zoe can do whatever she wants with her body, but it's not fair for her to force other girls to do like her and post racy pictures of themselves for her dream and her goals and principles. Like, that's still not okay, and that's still not really okay way to earn money for your school club either, probably. I say probably, but it's not. So I think Winston made it messier, but it was already a shit show to begin with. The legal... Oh, I am skipping stuff. Schools Out also took away a lot of Joey's character development. I hate to say it, but I do feel like Schools Out is still in character for Joey at the time. He learned a lot from, like, his story arc with Dwayne, but I don't find it impossible for him to treat Caitlin and Tessa so poorly. I really don't. I don't have that much hope towards Joey at that time. I think he definitely wouldn't do that today, or even when we see him at the start of season 1 of TNG, but as he's getting out of at the time Schools Out takes place, I think he would, unfortunately. Does anyone know where to watch the older Degrassi? I know they had Next Generation on HBO. Legal way to watch on Tubi. Also, if you have a VPN, I think you might be able to access Degrassi on the official channel if you change your country from US to Canada or something else. I've heard you could possibly do that. I haven't verified it myself, but it's another legal option other than buying the DVDs or trying to watch it on Tubi. Jules. Yeah, okay. I knew it was something kind of like that, only when I think of Jules, there's someone else who comes to mind. I don't know. The only person whose name I remember is Rue. Yeah, because her name also reminded me of someone, and her actress does too, but I can't remember. That's the only name I recall. Oh, I guess Cassie too. Is Cassie the one they say that Manny walks so Cassie can run? I'm not in touch with Euphoria memes. I've been avoiding them because I wanted to have my own opinion about Euphoria, and now it's like, I just don't care because I don't care about Euphoria. Oh god, I hope HBO Degrassi isn't like Euphoria. I'm not going to follow it if it is. I finished junior high and liked it, just fizzled out halfway through high. I'll get around to it someday. Yeah, I guess that's fair. I guess I was pretty used to Degrassi High because when I was first really getting into Degrassi in like 2010, 2011, I was trying to find all the Degrassi media I could find, which at the time I didn't know anything about YouTube or Google Foo or anything. So it was like, so I went to my library per my usual go-to, and they only had Degrassi High, and so I just kept watching that over and over. Just like, I guess this is technically Degrassi. Hello, Mercenary X84. I don't know why my brain just broke trying to say your username. Who's the most dramatic character in Degrassi in your opinion? Most dramatic? Huh. A few people pop up immediately, like Fiona. She doesn't do things small or in a very minimalist way. She immediately comes to mind. Fiona too. I would say Fiona is pretty on the dramatic side. Marco, yeah, Marco is also pretty dramatic. Claire can be, which, you know, she's kind of the obvious pick. I think everyone has their sort of dramatic moments. Oh, Emma does too. I remember the purple dragon thing. That was pretty dramatic. I don't know who the most dramatic is. I don't know. Maybe Imogen? I'm not really sure. I'd have to really sit down and think about this question. What's your opinion on Peter? Hello, Lucius Geronimo. I hope I said that right. Peter is a snobby rich boy a spoiled rich boy who's used to not necessarily getting what he wants, but being able to do whatever, and like, you know, he could roll with whatever punishment, you know, it sucks, but, you know, he has a sort of entitlement to him. For most of the series, he's just an asshole, selfish asshole, and he kind of incidentally gets better. Like, he doesn't really have a come to Jesus moment where he's like, I'm so sorry for all the things I've done. I mean, hell, even Eli had that moment. He just more happened to be better. He's like an Owen, you know? He just happens to stop being the worst. Maddie, okay. Who's Maddie? I don't remember Maddie. Never watched Euphoria, so no. Yeah, wouldn't recommend it. I mean, I'm sure, like, people do like it, and it's for someone. Excuse me, if you're like me, it's not for you. That's all I can say. And they're nothing alike. The closest I've gotten to Degrassi High is watching a compilation of all the fights Joey's been in. I'm telling you, you gotta watch Degrassi High. Like, it's good. Even better than just the fights. I feel like Becky and Imogen have the best friendship, and Becky improved herself, but didn't make a lot of mistakes. She makes me love her. Also, do you think she was homophobic at the start? I wouldn't say she didn't make a lot of mistakes. I do like Becky and Imogen's friendship. I will also say that, here, let me just, we don't need to hide that comment. That's okay. She definitely did make a lot of mistakes. She was unironically homophobic, transphobic, and pretty intolerant at the beginning. She had to grow out of being a bigot. Like, she had a lot to learn. She did make some mistakes, but, overall, I think what I like about Becky is whenever she found out she wasn't doing the right thing, she'd always sought to correct it. She wouldn't just let it sit because it makes her feel better. She does what she thinks is right, and then when she finds out it's not, she admits it. I like that about Becky. I also like that she has strong convictions to do the right thing. I really appreciate that in a character. I also feel like moving to Netflix was a mistake because the episode count was too short. Yeah, it was too short, but I get the sense that Degrassi didn't really have any other options. Like, it was either just stop or go to Netflix, and they hoped Netflix would be the solution, and unfortunately it wasn't. People like Euphoria because it's this era's Degrassi. Oh, I hope not. I hope not, because it really isn't. It really isn't, because people always complain like, oh, Degrassi's not even realistic. No, Degrassi is way more realistic than Euphoria. Like I said before, a lot of people have shitty lives, but it's not a constant deluge of shittiness. It's more spread out throughout the school year, throughout life. Even if you have a horrible high school experience, it's not all at once. There's moments of levity, but Euphoria doesn't really have that. Not only that, but I immediately think of the drug dealer kid early on in the first episode. No kid really talks like that. It's basically, Euphoria is a rich person in LA, what they think a high schooler is dealing with, except it's also specifically high schoolers kids of the rich LA writers and show producers. They're not like you and me. They don't have, there's aspects to our lives reflected in them, but not like Degrassi is. And it's not, another thing that really bothers me when people compare Euphoria and Degrassi is that Degrassi's trying to teach you to empathize with people unlike you and sort of give a look into why people choose certain things, and also help you not feel alone in the hardships you deal with. Whereas Euphoria, it's not interested in teaching or empathy or anything. It's just there to put on a show. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but Degrassi and Euphoria have two very different goals. They're not... Euphoria cannot, by default, it cannot be Degrassi. It's not about, it's not taking... You'd be great one scene episode, then go back to being a complete asshat. Owen was always awful, though. Yeah. I do feel like Peter did get better towards the end. One of my favorite episodes with Peter was when he started out thinking of his baby sister as, it's such a bother. Why is my dad dumping her on me? I hate that you even exist. And then through the episode, he learns, wait a minute. This little sister of mine isn't being more loved than me by my dad. She's already starting to go through what I went through. She's already being shunted to the side and ignored because she's inconvenient to my dad. This is an important moment for me because I could be there for my sister in a way that no one was there for me. I liked that moment with Peter, and I really hope that he took that to heart and kept with it. All right. Apparently YouTube hates the word ass. Surprised Becky never found out about Imogen and Adam at camp. I'm kind of surprised too, but I'm glad she didn't. She didn't even know that. Hello, Orange Xylem. Welcome. Maddie was that blonde girl that sold candy bars and hung out with London Tipton sometimes. Now I know who you're talking about. I watched the Sweet Life with Zach and Cody too. I was just thinking about it recently, like, I wonder what Brenda Song is up to, because I remember her being huge, like, around that time, like, when I was watching Disney Channel, so I hope she's doing okay. Who seems, it won't let me scroll back, so I don't know who you're saying seems really realistic. Oh, Becky, okay. Yeah, I can also see myself in Becky a little bit. I don't think that's why I like her. I think she, the kind of person she is a little bit of who I wanted to be in some way. Kind of like, sort of have that internal strength, not the homophobia or transphobia. That's stupid. I always wonder which female character had the most fights in the series, and I think it was Manny. It could be. Drama did follow her, and she created her own drama. It could be. I can't quite say. Every time I watch a teen drama, I think it will never measure up to Degrassi, and then I think it will never measure up to Degrassi, and then it never does. Yep. Degrassi is a very unique show, created by very unique people. And that's why something like the HBO reboot has a lot of people concerned, because, okay, it's being handled by people who worked on TNG, but will the corporate overlords let it be Degrassi still? Who knows? It was definitely Manny. Generation feel like had the realism of Degrassi, but was way more depressing. I've actually never heard of that. There's a comment under Degrassi Junior High episode censored saying that Spike should have been grateful for, I think you mean Caitlin, writing the article, and she was overreacting. What do you think? In my opinion, Caitlin made a wrong assumption. My mom says assumptions make it look like an ass. Yeah, no, Spike wasn't overreacting. It's still her story and her body, her personhood. She never consented to being made the poster child for teen pregnancy, even at Degrassi. Like, Caitlin was out of line telling Spike's story without her consent. It wasn't her story to tell, even if it was a good headline or something. Nah, Caitlin was in the wrong. Another fave teen drama is the UK version of Skins. Anyone seen that? I've had people recommend to me. I think I watched a video on it once, but I cannot remember anything about it. One of these days I'll get around to it and maybe have a thought on it or two. It's not high on my to-watch list. Lately, my to-watch list has been filled with a lot of silent movies, because apparently I'm trying to go back to the 1920s, except let's not, because there's a lot of problems today. There's a lot of problems today that were 100 times worse in the 20s. I may dress like the 20s, but I'm not going back. It always struck me as weird that Peter did some very weird stuff, but he never cheated. Yeah. Either he never had the chance to, or that was one line he wouldn't cross. Yeah, that's interesting. Brenda's song was actually in a video game that was just made. Oh, good for her! Brenda's song has a daughter with Macaulay Culkin? Wow, cool. Hello, Heartless 1197. Brenda was on the show called Dollface with Kat Dennings, and it's pretty good. Got canceled though. Oh, sucks. It's because writers wanted you to like Peter, and I think they didn't realize how much of an ass they're writing at times. I wonder. I mean, I feel like early in season 5, they kind of understood that, but then, like, as time went on, they were trying to, like, I don't know, like, trying to mold him into likability, but also have kind of, like, being stuck with the character that they created. They can't, Peter just can't suddenly become good. And I think they did a good job of not making him suddenly good. Like, he still messed up even when he stopped being overwhelmingly bad. Ashley and Brenda starred in the cartoons Phineas and Ferb and Amphibia. I did watch Phineas and Ferb growing up. I don't think I've ever seen Amphibia. I don't think I've ever heard of it. All right. Well, let's go ahead and see what the next thing is. Couples that, in your opinion, changed... Oh, your opinion changed about during the show. That's an interesting one. I do agree with the top commenter here. I did stop liking Marco and Dylan partway through. They just stopped kind of gelling. I think it's because they had Dylan make a lot of choices that harmed Marco, possibly partially because they were trying to limit how much Dylan was on screen. I'm not sure. It just kind of... After Dylan cheated on Marco, that really bothered me. And it kind of made me stop rooting for Dylan and Marco. Like, I understand, Marco, Dylan is your first real love and you want to stay with him, but come on, man. You got a whole life ahead of you. There's way more male fish in the sea than Dylan, even if he's cute. I think... Let's see, who else did I change my opinion on? I think I also changed my opinion on Drew and Bianca. Yeah, Drew and Bianca. I changed my opinion on them. Like, at first I thought, Drew, you idiot, what are you doing? This is a horrible match. And then I saw them get back together, like, be together, like, during part of season 11, and then see him come back again after Drew dates Katie. Like, yeah, actually, this is a good idea. They just needed to grow a little bit as characters. Yeah, I can jive with this couple now. I don't know. I don't have a good answer for this. I'd have to think long and hard, because this requires me to remember how I felt about things, not just, like, that things happened. Like, I didn't realize Macaulay Culkin had a kid now. I love seeing him pop up random stuff. Yeah, I hope he's doing good and living his best life. He was definitely a big part of my childhood. Which characters managed not to cheat on their significant other during their time on the show? I don't think Emma ever cheated, did she? I don't think so. Claire, I don't think ever cheated either. No, she didn't. She never cheated. She was technically broke up with Eli when she slept with Drew, as stupid as it was. Let's see. I don't think Drew ever cheated either, as I think about it. You know who's a perfect bean? And no, he did. I was about to say Adam is so perfect. He never cheated, but he did. Oh my, he did cheat. See, who else? I know Manny helped someone cheat, but did she cheat herself? I don't think so. No, Declan didn't cheat. Technically, he helped Jane cheat, but he never cheated. Hey, people always complain about Jane cheating on Spinner. Spinner can't say he's never cheated. Take that, Spinner. That is a very good question, though. Thank you for posing that. That was fun. I don't think Caitlin ever cheated either. There's quite a handful of people who never cheated. Some surprising people who did, though. Yeah, I guess, yeah, Marco never cheated. I mean, didn't Drew cheat on Katie? Did he? I'm trying to remember how it went down. I thought that he had broken up with Katie before he really got, before he got with... Drew did cheat, though. He cheated on Allie. Okay, at least he cheated on Allie. I don't remember if he cheated on Katie, but he did cheat on Allie. I was wrong on that. Okay, let's see. I have a question. Are people afraid of doing the college idea in teen dramas if the show starts in high school? Because I believe this saying, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. So no, Degrassi tried it, and I also don't know if you've seen Sister Sister, but last season's college, in my opinion, they did well. I've not seen Sister Sister, so I can't really say. Personally, I didn't like them trying to do high school and college life. I think they have to pick one or the other. And honestly, I'm okay with them leaving it at high school. That's fine by me. They do a really good job of portraying this one slice of human life. I don't think they need to expand too far out of it. Crashly. I disliked Craig and Ashley early on, severely, but in season 4, I had such an amazing couple. Also, Ashley's best girl from season 1 through 4. Oh my god. That's a hot take there, Lucius. And I like it. You and me are some of the only Ashley fans in the world. Welcome to the club. We've got jackets. I kind of feel a little opposite. I loved Ashley and Craig together early on, but then I think when it got to season 4, I didn't care for them as much. Emma didn't cheat. Her relationships ended with breaking up with Sean after he pushed her in season 1, leaving her because the Candy Bandits in season 3. I don't know how her and Chris broke up. They just kind of fizzled out. I think she was the one who broke up with him. Good point. Spinner isn't innocent himself. No, he's not. No, Katie got Drew drunk and cheated on Bianca. I mean, kind of, I guess, she didn't know that he already had moved on to Bianca. Katie had no idea, so we can't blame Katie. She didn't know how drunk Drew was, or that he was at all, because he seemed very coherent when she was with him, and he said himself that he hardly drank or something like that. So we can't blame Katie, really. She couldn't have known. We knew because we're the omniscient viewers, but she couldn't have known. That was rape. Rape kind of needs intention, and Katie, for all Katie knew, he was consenting. He was of his right mind and consenting. She didn't know that he was in an altered state, so I kind of disagree. Plus, Emma broke up with Peter over his treatment of Sean. Sean left for the army, and Kelly went back to UConn because of Emma being controlling. Yep. He juggled Katie and Bianca for months. Yeah, he did. He didn't technically cheat, but he sure kept both of them on the hook for a very long time. I feel Mrs. Hollingsworth doesn't listen to her kids too much, and that's why Miles turned to drugs. Also, them admitting Hunter to a psychiatric ward too harsh. I do agree that, Mrs. Hollingsworth has a problem not listening to her kids. We see that quite a bit in season 2 of Next Class, but I kind of don't agree that admitting Hunter to a psychiatric ward was too much. Hunter clearly was not okay, and something drastic needed to happen. He came very close to shooting up the school. He crashed Miles's car and tried to gravely hurt himself over something so simple as Miles talking to Tristan. Something had to happen. Someone needed to step in drastically in order for Hunter to get better or for something to change. Hunter can't have been left on his own or have left it to just family business. That was not gonna help Hunter. The show should have stopped having characters be held back. Kind of messed up some of the characters. Yeah, some characters I would have preferred to have graduated with their classes. I understand wanting to keep popular characters around, but it did make things a little fuzzier, I gotta say. The whole Hollingsworth family situation before next class felt very messed up. It was hard to watch. It was. I feel like it was a little messy too, but honestly, I think it was a good baseline to to set up next class as well. Kind of like the complicated feelings the kids have towards their father and then the different ways that they're dealing with it. Like, I think my favorite moment in season 14 with the Hollingsworth kids is all three of them standing by Frankie and choosing to stand up to their dad. That was pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, I actually really liked the Hunter storyline up until Yael came out. Oh, why up until Yael? Is it because Hunter doesn't respond well? Excuse me, because I do technically like that, but man, I wish Hunter would have responded better. So many people got held back in the later series. It was hilarious. It was like half the characters. Yeah, and I think part of it was to keep popular characters around. Like, I think they did do a good job for some of them writing good reasons to keep them around. Like, of course, Spinner and Jimmy were going to be held back. They missed half the year, basically. Drew getting held back, yeah, that makes sense. Imogen, less so. Do you think that Mr. Hollingsworth made Snake grovel a bit because Miles nearly burned school down? Hunter almost shot someone. No, I don't think so. I mean, nah, I don't think he did. Hello, DJS Sports Talk. I think my memory sucks, but I think I know who you are. No, maybe I don't. I don't know. Hello. Who is your favorite Drew relationship and your least favorite Drew relationship? I liked him with Katie and Bianca the most. I think I'm gonna have to agree. I guess technically I disliked him most with Allie because he wasn't ever really with her. Like, he wanted her and didn't want her at the same time. He was just an asshole to Allie, and unfortunately she had so little self-worth that she just put up with it and even sought him out after he went to the boiler room with Bianca. But yeah, I would say that him with Katie and him with Bianca were probably the best. I might lean a little bit more towards Bianca. That felt a bit healthier. I think his time with Katie, he was still trying to learn how to be, like, he was trying to learn how to be better, but also, like, he had a lot of baggage, trauma wrapped up in Katie. Like, Katie was basically his therapist, and he kind of dumped her as soon as he was done with his therapy, so I think that prevents me from giving them the number one spot. Mia treated Peter like crap. I don't know if I agree, but I'd have to honestly rewatch it. I don't remember that part of Degrassi very well. Do you watch any other Degrassi YouTubers? If so, you want to shout some out? At the time, I don't think he's making videos right now, and I'm not sure if he will again, but I did watch Carrie from Degrassi Corner. I do still follow him on YouTube, and yeah, he's pretty cool. honestly, I don't really watch Degrassi YouTube. I don't know. I think it's because it's hard for me to find good Degrassi content, and then when I do, it's like, oh, cool, but I don't know. My YouTubing doesn't really involve Degrassi, to be honest. Like, honestly, Degrassi isn't as huge part of my life as it used to be. These days, I spend most of my time on YouTube watching historical stuff, learning Japanese videos, fashion stuff, like historical fashion, I mean. It's not really Degrassi, so I know there's a lot of good Degrassi folks out there whose names are suddenly slipping my mind. I just don't watch them, and it's not because, I think they're all terrible. Oh, I'm the only good Degrassi YouTuber. Go ahead and take that out of context, because that just looks ridiculous. But no, I'm just not really interested in watching Degrassi YouTube stuff. Like, I'm fine making it, but in my free time, I want to do other stuff. Like, I'd rather go watch Degrassi myself, to be honest. I know Drew shouldn't have had sex with Zoe, but her mother shouldn't have had announced it in front of the whole school. Did you really think he would want a serious relationship with a sophomore? Did she announce it to the whole school? I don't remember that part. But yeah, Drew really should not have had sex with Zoe, because, I mean, it was clear that he wasn't into her that way. It's not okay to lead someone on like that. One thing that will always confuse me is the storyline where Drew blackmails Riley. Why is that? I actually made a video about that. I'm curious, why does that confuse you? Because I might have an answer. Drew also did date Becky. Let's not forget that. Yeah, that happened. I'm kind of neutral to it. It's like, okay. Like, it happened, I guess. Like, the show kind of treats them as OTP, but I don't see them as that. Like, I think they're going to be over eventually, like, pretty soon after they start college. Man, you guys got me talking so much. I ain't doing any drinking. I'm never going to get drunk this way. What the heck, guys? No, keep the comments coming. This is my favorite part of stream. Like, I do these gimmicks to, like, have someone to fall back on if people aren't being responsive, but this is my favorite part. I love talking to you guys. Oh, this is the best. Okay. He's a senior. It would have been over quickly as it started. Yeah, no, he was never serious about Zoe anyway, so he never should have gotten with her. Beginning out of it. Season 11 put Drew through the ringer. Oh, it sure did. And I enjoyed every minute of it. Not because I hate Drew, but because it was good. It was a lot of good writing, good acting, and I enjoyed it, even though Drew suffered horribly. I'm sorry, Drew, but it was good. Hello, Sims Rock 99. What's your favorite season from each era? TNG, Degrassi, and Next Class. You know, you're forgetting Degrassi High and Junior High. So let's see. Favorite seasons. Well, for Degrassi Junior High, I'd say season 2. Degrassi High, I'd say season 2 as well. TNG, probably, I'm going to say season 3. And then Degrassi, like, that came after when it dropped the TNG label, I'm gonna say, as much as I love season 10, season 12 was chef's kiss. And then Next Class, season 4. And I'm not picking these because all the rest were bad or something. Just these are the ones that stick. Drew's character development got thrown out the window after he started dating Becky. I don't think it necessarily got thrown out the window with Becky. I'd say it got thrown out the window with dating, getting with Claire. Like, all the stuff he learned with Zoe, all of a sudden he forgot it and slept with Claire, and then was like, oh wait, I'm not actually serious about this chick. She's just a rebound. Drew, where's your brain? Let's see. What show do you believe comes the closest to Degrassi? I'm not really sure. I don't think I've got a good answer to that because, to be honest, I don't watch a lot of other teen shows. I'm not sure what else comes close to Degrassi. Like, not just because I don't really watch teen shows, but Degrassi's very unique. Like, the closest things I could think of, like, I'm reaching towards anime or something. I'm not sure. Because Drew wasn't anti-LGBT, so why? Well, okay. Drew, the reason why he was blackmailing Riley wasn't because he was anti-gay or hated Riley for being gay. It was way more pragmatic than that. He wanted to be head quarterback. Riley was the only thing standing in the way of him getting that. That's the beginning of end of it. He didn't care that Riley's gay. That's just the ammo that he had on Riley to get him to step down. It's not anything about him being gay. It's that he was the only thing preventing him from being the head quarterback on the team like he was at his last school. It's not anything about homophobia. If you think you remember who I am, lol, I'd be interested in doing a collab video about Degrassi. I swear, I feel like I remember you from somewhere, but I don't know. Message me on Twitter at notvampire. I'm pretty sure that's in the description somewhere. And we'll talk. Like, I might be interested in a collab. My schedule's a little funny right now, but let's talk. Let me see if I could try to figure out who you are. Guzman, I'm 29 and I still don't see the appeal of drinking. No shame to anyone who likes it, but yeah. All respect to you, man. Like, honestly, this is really the only time I drink. All the rest of the time, I'm firmly a soda person. Also, hello, Guzman. I can't remember if I said that. I have a terrible memory on top of also having been drinking a bit. Yeah, it's entirely a personal choice for me, the most part. I don't drink. The only time I really drink is for these streams, and because I feel like it loosens me up a bit. Like, I have a lot of social anxiety and performance anxiety. Wow, these racy jokes just come out on their own, I promise. I have a lot of anxiety towards being social and entertaining. Like, I'm always afraid I'm not entertaining enough for you guys, that basically I'm wasting your time. I'm not justifying you joining these streams. And I find alcohol at least helps me lose that a little bit. Not completely, but like in the moment, so it's not constantly on my head. And I mean, I have a little more fun that way. But all respect to you. Alcohol, it's not for everyone. Let's see. Zig not wearing sleeves was just a fan service. Maybe, yeah. I mean, at some point during the series, Zig cut off all the sleeves on his shirts. I thought that was a fun character decision. I liked it. Not offended by that comment about you not watching Degrassi YouTubers, but know this. You're my major muse when I do a Degrassi video series. Thank you. Yeah, and I don't mean offense to anyone I don't watch. Like I said, I'm just not really interested in watching YouTube videos about Degrassi at this point in my life. It's not, it's not that I feel like I'm the only good Degrassi YouTuber out there. It's just the things I find fun in my free time are a bit different. That's all. So, yeah. I definitely don't mean any offense to you, and I'm glad you're not offended, Cutter Historical, because it's really not a dig on you. Season 13 destroyed Drew's character development. I think a bit of yes and a bit of no. Like, Season 13 was a bit of a mess, especially, I will always say, like, the France arc and then a little bit afterwards. That was some of the roughest Degrassi, and I've seen all of it, man. That was, I didn't like it as I was watching it the first time, and I'm still not a huge fan of it. I don't think anyone was written very well. Maya might have been the only one written competently. I mean, Claire probably, but not great. Hello, just Danielle, sorry. A lot of the seniors in season 14 were characters stalled, in my opinion. Many became background or written off. Yeah. I definitely really feel like a lot of the seniors, they wanted to keep them around because they were popular characters, but eventually they kind of ran out of some things to do with them and just were keeping them around but didn't really have much for them to do. I mean, I feel so bad for the actors for Jenna and Connor. There were opportunities they could have taken, but not much was done with them. It sucks. See, most similar show would be Boy Meets World, covers a lot of real world topics through middle school, high school, and college. Maybe. You know what's a show that I need to go back and watch that might be in a kind of similar vein? Ned's Declassified School Survivor Guide. It had a lot of fantastical moments, if I'm remembering correctly, but I kind of want to rewatch it and see, like, okay, how realistic was it, though? I'm betting not a lot, but that's the first thing that comes to mind when I hear someone say Boy Meets World for some reason, because I didn't watch that, but it was like, middle school. Hey, I watched a show about middle school. It is called Ned's Declassified. Adding to Degrassi News' comment, if I recall correctly, Zoe had shut down the site, but Winston continually blackmailed them. Correct me if I'm wrong. He was specifically not quite blackmailing them, but like, shoot. I think the blackmail started, like, and then Zoe got scared and shut down Degrassi Nudes, maybe? I might have to rewatch this, because I feel like I've got more nuanced thoughts on this, and it's a little bit different from that, but I can't remember, so I can't quite comment, I think. So have you heard of Avatar: The Last Airbender live action? Do you think it could be bad or good? I have heard of Avatar: The Last Airbender live action. I saw the M. Night Shyamalan movie. It wasn't good. I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. I hear they're making a new live action series. I don't know if it's going to be good. I don't have a lot of hope, but maybe. I can't quite say. I'm 32 and I used to get drunk all the time, but now I drink once in a great while. Yeah. Excuse me. As I say, everything in moderation. I always and will always look forward to your streams. Oh, thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad. Hopefully I remember that, because sometimes I just get convinced that, I'm wasting everyone's time and I'm the only one having fun here. See, which was your favorite relationship between favorite Sav relationship, Holly J or Anya? Holly J. Sav was too immature to stand up for Anya, so he could not, they could not work out. Holly J and him, beautiful. I loved it. YouTube is so hard to find good things anyways. It can be. It can be. Yeah. And at this point right now, I'm not really looking for new stuff, so that doesn't help either. It's just more like if I happen upon it as I'm researching very particular topics, like how did they actually do their makeup in the 20s? I also wonder if Jimmy was too harsh a spinner in season 5. I think Rick should have never come back to Degrassi. Rick should have never come back to Degrassi. I don't know. It's hard for me to say with how Jimmy felt about Spinner. Like, sometimes I can't blame him. Like, he does have issues with not holding a grudge for the end of time, but I don't know, like, he lost his legs because of this asshole. What was one topic they never explored or lightly explored that you wish got addressed more? I want asexuality to be explored. Like, they kind of did it a little bit with Connor, but I'd like it to be a little more explicit. That'd be cool. What else would I like to be explored? I want more poor characters. Like, that'd be cool. Like, Zig was poor in season 12, but then, like, the focus on that kind of just disappeared. That'd be cool, too. I think I'd have to think a lot more on it to really say what else I want done. Yeah. Also, you said the France thing was a mistake. I like world travel as a concept, even if it's not on location. I kind of like it as a concept, but it's not that I think going to France was a problem. I think it was just poorly written, a poorly written section of the show. It doesn't matter where it took place. It was not well done. They didn't have a good grasp of characters or their motivations. It's just bad. Season 13 started off very boring. Yeah, I kind of agree. Yeah. Season 13, like, the first part of it was so bad, it convinced me all of season 13 was bad, and season 14. It's terrible. I haven't watched Ned's Classified since it came out. Lol. Me neither. I don't think I've watched it basically since the Shredder Man movie came out. I think that came out just after Ned's Classified ended. Oh, that's been years. He was blackmailing Zoe and that's it, not the other girls. I think there was a moment, like, where, like, Lola and Shay were included in the, sort of, what do you call it? Teaser for, like, hey, these are the people behind Degrassi Nudes. Maybe. I can't remember. Or maybe it was Lola and Jack. I don't remember. And for the other girls, Winston did the blackmail to help Frankie get back on the cheer squad after Zoe kicked her out. Yeah, basically. Dallas and Allie, IMO, had the best story of how they were there for each other before they became an official couple. I like how they both developed before getting together. Yes, very much so. That's a reason why I think I ranked them as my number 2 couple. Like, they had a lot of growing to do, namely Dallas, before they could get together. And, man, they were so solid when they did finally get together. I loved them. I like Sav and Anya as a team, but realized how toxic it was. Yeah, I know. Season 10, Claire and Eli, am I right? No, there's basically no good ace rep. I know, it sucks. I mean, the closest I think I could come to that is maybe I'm sure there's a lot of good indie, like, stuff out there that has good ace rep. The thing that comes to my mind is Peridot from, what's it called? Steven Universe. There we go. Why can't I remember things? Did I tell you my memory sucks? I agree that asexuality needs more representation. I feel like I never exist on television when it comes to my sexuality. Yeah. Speaking of which, I also would like to see a real representation of polyamory. Like, what Esme was trying to do with Zig and Frankie, that's not polyamory. That's not healthy polyamory. Hello, Cassandra Francesco. How you doing? I have a question. Do you think Bianca, Riley, Fitz, and Owen are from Lakehurst? I don't know. I have no inclination on that. It's a good question. I don't know. I can't say. No asexuality for sure, and most poor characters' backstory was never fleshed out. I think it was one of the best, poor character, things was with Zig and his family in season 12, but they kind of just dropped that when it came to season 3. Like, I would have liked more from that. I'm going to go more into Imogen and her mother's relationship because I feel like Imogen treats you poorly even though I understand her anger. Yeah, like, one of the biggest things I'm sad about with Imogen sticking around after season 12 is, like, nothing of her home life really came up. Like, what happened to her dad and her mom? Like, they set up so much interesting stuff with that, but they just never capitalized on it, and I don't know why. I love Neds. As a European, I really thought the show was how American School was. I mean, yes, but no. That's great. I love it. They had a sequel show in high school planned out, but the actors were busy with other projects. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, the other actors, they'd been on Neds for years. And they were starting to probably age out of high school by that point, too. Allie had no right to be mad at Claire for not telling her about losing the baby. I understand she's hurt, but have a little empathy. I think I'd have to rewatch that, but maybe? I'd have to rewatch to have my feelings on that. Good question. Okay, I don't like the sad Miss O thing because it was almost saying male student and female student relationships are okay, and Miss O didn't deserve the story arc because they had nothing for Sav by then. Yeah, like, Sav being with Miss O, that really does feel like we've got nothing else for this character kind of stretch. Yeah. Degrassi had straight up bad poly rep. Remember when Jack wanted to be poly with Imogen and they made her feel like an awful person for being poly? Okay, I will actually say that Jack never actually wanted to be poly. She just was saying stuff so that Imogen wouldn't get closer to her. Like, she and Esme have a problem with, like, they basically try to manipulate the situation to what would feel most convenient for them. And that's why we've not really had poly representation. Jack wasn't poly. No, she was too scared to be with Imogen, like, for realsies. And then Esme, it's not that she wanted Frankie in her relationship too, it's that she didn't want to eventually lose Zig to Frankie. So it's like, well, I can't lose Zig to Frankie if Frankie's already dating him with me. No, that's not polyamory. That's not good. That's what we call it, not good in the poly community. I don't know. Degrassi and creepy student teacher plotlines. Name a better combo. Sean and Alex didn't have money. Oh yeah, that's right. Sean struggled with people making assumptions about him because he didn't have money. I always forget that. I don't know why, but that is a good point. I like that. Emma shouldn't have blamed all the students from Lakehurst for killing JT. Yeah, that was a pretty shitty thing of her to do. Like, Lakehurst didn't cause JT to die. Alright, let's at least get through one more of these, because I got all these tabs, and we're never gonna touch them, are we? No, this is not a good question. I don't have a good answer for this. I'm just gonna say, okay, I like this one. Who did Craig really like first? Was it Manny or Ashley? I'm gonna say he honestly liked Ashley first. When he tried to go on a date with Manny, she thought she was cool, but he had a little bit of interest in her, but he found her too much like his little sister, so there wasn't real like or interest in her. But with Ashley, he felt more serious immediately, and that didn't go away because of silly excuse me, and that didn't just go away. I guess I'll argue Craig really liked Ashley first. Manny was more like a crush. And then it became a whole thing. Do you think Maya should have pressed charges for cyberbullying? I think she should have. Would have teach her a lesson. I don't know if it would have taught Zoe a lesson, but I wouldn't blame her for pressing charges for cyberbullying. I think it was too soon to have an event with them. Maybe, but still, not fair to blame the whole school. Maya wanted to press things on Zoe for cyberbullying, but Maya's mom wanted her to turn the other cheek. Was that how that happened? Man, I need to just do a whole rewatch of the show, because I've forgotten a lot of things because it just hasn't been in the forefront of my brain. Okay, this is one I wanted to get to. Is Paige the ultimate mean girl? No. Paige is a very realistic mean girl where she's got multiple facets to her, but if we want to distill down to the purest form of mean girl, we have to go with Holly J. Sinclair. There is no meaner girl than her in seasons, 7 and 8? That's a true mean girl. She'd make Heather Chandler shiver in fear. Alright, I'm actually starting to feel a bit tired, so I think we're gonna do a last call for questions and stuff. I'm sorry to cut this so short. I don't know, I'm already feeling rather drained. No, body's being weird. That's what happens when you get old, kids. Never get old like me. See, I only got through one of these, and I'm only not even halfway done with this one. Man, where's the fun flapper vamp I used to be? The Great Depression's calling. What's your loss of energy back? Oh no, this metaphor ran away from me very quick. I think Emma was upset at Lakehurst because she may have thought it was planned to stab JT at Liberty's party. No, I don't think she was upset at Lakehurst for that. I think it was more that Lakehurst was the school, was the rivalry that Lakehurst versus Degrassi was the rivalry that killed JT, and therefore Lakehurst was the bad guy, even though it was just one stupid kid. So I don't quite think that's the reason. Kind of effed up that Paige didn't show up to JT's funeral. She could have been first in line, college or not. Yeah, that's pretty messed up too, because she actually had a pretty good relationship with JT. I'm surprised she didn't. Not true. The ultimate mean girl is Regina George. I think Holly J. Sinclair, Regina George, and Heather Chandler all need to get into a room and duke it out. We'll find out who the real mean girl is. Here's an interesting topic. How do you feel whenever they use Connor's Asperger's for laughs like when he told Drew, you have to be smart to be here? I find it funny because, I feel it's less it's the autistic kid being autistic. I feel it's more it's the one person who you can count on for being unwaveringly honest with his feelings. Just doing that. I love a deadpan, honest character. I do think it's funny. I don't feel oh, it's the autistic kid being quirky. It's just more yeah, that is something Connor would say. He wouldn't try to sugarcoat, yeah, I think you're an idiot, Drew, and you don't have a place here. I love it. I think the racism plot with Frankie, multiple people were at fault, and an apology from Kara would have been nice. Apology would have been nice. I do think Frankie, though, as I say in my video, the first video I ever put out, I do think Frankie dug herself in deeper than she needed to be, dug her in deeper to where she made herself seem more like the villain. She played with bad optics, that's what I'm saying. She needs a little bit of tone policing. I don't know. I'm just buzzed enough where I'm saying stupid stuff and thinking it's gonna be funny and then it's not. No, just quit, kids. Just stop watching me. Hide my face. Personally, I think it's hilarious, but I wonder if it's okay to laugh at his bluntness because he can't help it. I think it's the fact that he can't help it. Like, he doesn't really... See, I think it'd be different. Like, it'd be problematic to laugh at him for something that he can't control. Like, here, how do I say this? I think it'd be bad to laugh at him if it was at his own expense. But in this case, it's not really at his expense. It's at Drew's expense that the joke is being made. The entire joke is Drew is known to be an idiot. So why is he anywhere close to the academic team? Like, and that's kind of funny. Like, it's not that... Oh, it's so hilarious. Connor's so autistic that he says honest things. It's Drew's the butt of the joke. So I think that's what helps make it okay. Hello, Molly Johnson. Do you think if next class continued, Esme would have been at Degrassi still? In last episode, they briefly mentioned she either can't graduate or walk due to missing a lot of classes. Yeah, I think she would have continued at Degrassi, and I think because she would continue at Degrassi and didn't graduate, we would have gotten to see her in some way address what seemed to very strongly hint at being borderline personality disorder. People complain, oh, they mishandled Esme so much. They just said she was crazy and just a bad person, but she really had mental illness. Well, no, the show was trying to build up to the part where they reveal, oh, she's not just a horrible person, she's got mental illness. The show was working up to that point and working up to her trying to learn how to manage that. I think that's what her arc would have been in season 5 that we never got. And it sucks because it leaves Esme's story only partially done. It's not complete and it never will be. I think it would have been a good opportunity to just explore mental health further versus that plotline kind of ending. Yeah. I wish Netflix wasn't so shitty to Degrassi. I disagree. I found every joke funny that you made today. Oh my god, thank you. I don't know if you're the only person who finds my humor funny. I mean, I find my humor funny, but I don't know. I'm so glad. I am so glad. So glad. Let's go ahead and... that's not a bad comment, YouTube. Let's let it go. Ellie and Craig are toxic to be a couple. They're not even they never were a couple. Degrassi official YouTube. What the fuck? They weren't even a couple. Why did you put them on your best couple list? They were never a couple to begin with, and you are right, Cassandra. They are toxic as fuck. They don't even have the whole thing that Eclair does, where they eventually they kept getting together and getting better as they got back together and stuff. No, they were just never good for each other. Ay. Honestly, Esme's storyline was actually really good. It was. And I know it would have been even better if Degrassi would have been allowed to continue to make their season 5. I feel like Becky went through shit, but didn't resort to drugs. She did rely on a realm of doom, but she didn't need... I think you mean inebriation or intervention to make her realize it. I don't really like the framing of that, because it makes people who do choose to like, use drugs to deal with shitty life circumstances seem, I guess, lesser in some way, and I don't agree with that. Like, we all do what we feel like we have to get by. Yeah, some of that is very self-destructive, and hopefully we eventually learn that, but I don't think it's good to frame it as a moral or like a you're so weak or you're so bad for choosing this thing to help you cope. I don't like that framing. Like, I'd rather leave it as a personal choice thing than try to moralize it, because when you moralize the things people do to cope, like drugs or self-harm, that's how you encourage people to hide it. That's how you encourage people to not get help, to hide what they're doing, even if they know that it's wrong and that they need help. It discourages them, makes them feel even more like they're a worse person, and for a lot of people, draws them more into whatever they're doing. I know I felt that way when I was doing self-harm, so it's not good. I'm sure you don't mean to do it, but I'd rather not frame it as Becky was somehow better because she didn't turn to drugs when her life got shit. I read that as Eli and Craig. Can you imagine? A friend in my opinion, Zig is a toxic boyfriend. Yeah. He and Drew I lovingly refer to as meatheads, because they do a lot of acting before they even think. They don't do a lot of thinking, to be honest. And yeah, Zig has a lot of toxic moments. He got better by season 4, but he had some problems, kid. A lot of problems. Miles is the saving grace of season 13 and 14. Yeah, I'd also say Maya is a big saving grace too, but they struck gold when they created Miles too. Such beautiful stuff. I almost want to say Zoe is too, if she would have been a little better. Like, I think her actress is amazing, and I think eventually they found their footing with Zoe. I think they stumbled a lot, though, figuring out what Zoe's deal was. And that's kind of unfortunate, because it kind of drags character down a little, but we stan Zoe. She doesn't make good decisions most of the time, but we love her. Yesterday, Supreme Court of Canada, where I'm from, said that lying to your partner about using protection can be used as sexual assault claim. What if that was the case in Degrassi, what would happen? What characters would have been messed up because of this? I'm sure a lot of characters would have been, because if you tell your partner you're using protection or on the pill and it comes out you weren't, that I would agree is sexual assault. Not just because law says it, but it basically, it prevents your partner from having all the facts to consent. And if you alter someone's ability to consent in some way, that is sexual assault. Like, if you're not giving them all the facts, then they can't honestly consent, because they might have made a different choice if they would have known what the situation really was. That move was more if a misunderstanding, though. I'm not sure I understand. Someone could explain? Yeah, I don't know. I know, thankfully, the state of Indiana recently, semi-recently expanded its definition of rape, because it used to be, it was only if someone physically forced you. So, I mean, I'm glad they changed that, because that's the only way that thing. Darcy didn't went to Africa. She moved to Beverly Hills, changed her name to Annie, and not wanting to deal with Peter. Yeah, Peter really fucked up her life in a lot of ways. So I'm not surprised. Like, man, that's going pretty far. But then again, a lot of people who moved to Beverly Hills changed their names. I mean, Judy Garland did it. Basically, all of the silent and like golden age Hollywood actors and actresses changed their names, so I'm not surprised. But man, that's a lot to do to get away from a guy, Darcy. What the heck? Hello, Reptile Emperor. I wonder if it's gay to still find Jordan Tadasi as attractive even when she plays a female to male character. Reminds me of the Futurama episode when Zap Brannigan found Leela attractive dressed as a guy. Well, Zap was confused there too. I think it is, because I think it depends on how you're viewing the character. If you view Jordan as a girl in boys' clothing when she's playing Adam, and like you're a guy, or you identify as a guy, then no, that's straight attraction. But if you're viewing her as a dude, then that's totally gay. And we stand gay here. You're good. I mean, that's how I view it. I'm sure other people might disagree. I'm not as learned on certain LGBT plus topics. Like, I'm still learning, but that's just kind of how I'm seeing it. It all depends on what sex, like what lens are you viewing her in when she's playing Adam. Craig thought Manny was on the pill while Manny thought Craig had used a condom. Yeah, I wouldn't say that was necessarily rape. I think that was more like two people who did not have the conversation they should have had sex, and then had to deal with the consequences. Yeah, always talk to your partner about protection and any sort of birth control. Like, it doesn't matter if it's unsexy. What's unsexy is a unplanned pregnancy. That's highly unsexy. Boy. Let's see. I understand why Jack does not want to come out, but it's like, she doesn't even give her parents credit to make... It makes me sad Jack's lets fear rule her life. Yeah. I mean, I really wish we would have gotten to see Jack's home life to really try to understand where she's coming from, but the way the show portrays it, it seems like she's just being unreasonable to Imogen. I don't know if that's fair to the character, but yeah. Hello, Ella Gomez. I can't remember if I've said hello to you, but hello! I was bothered by Jenna during the show because of her friendship with Becky. Like, at the time, she was being actively homophobic and transphobic, and if I were Jenna, I would have stopped being friends. I have to rewatch that, because, I mean, I would have made the same decisions too, but I'm not sure about Jenna. Like, I would hope better for Jenna, but I think I need to rewatch to really have full feelings on that. That is an interesting point to bring up. Me stand the gay. Yeah. Darcy equals Annie 90210 reference law. Hello, weird 365. Yeah, I know, it's great. I've never seen the show, but I know it happened. It's not gay to find guy attractive as another guy, and Adam is a guy. I don't know, like, if you find someone hot, it is, like, someone of the same sex hot, it is pretty gay, I think. Like I said, I don't know, though. Especially as an asexual person, attraction, like, I can only understand it in a textbook sense, so that's the approach that I have to it. It might not be fully correct, because I can only understand it as explained by other people. But Jenna was a huge part of the show, and Becky wasn't homophobic anymore. Huge part of how Becky wasn't homophobic anymore. Yeah, that's when Jenna talked him into accepting him. Yeah, that's what I thought I remembered. Yeah, like, she was kind of the bridge between Adam and the stupid bigotry that she was fed. basically. Come on, Katie. There are scenes where she seems dismissive. I have to really rewatch that. If you're on TikTok, what's your page? Like, I don't have a TikTok because I hate to get real. I mean, Degrassi real too, but I don't like the idea of the Chinese government spying on me. And I don't like the idea of supporting the Chinese government in any way. So I'm unfortunately not on TikTok, and I'm never gonna be. It's sad because I know there's a lot of really good content on TikTok, and unfortunately my only exposure to it is ever going to be what makes it into my other circles, like Reddit or Twitter. Like, and yeah, so not on TikTok. Hello, Moody Misera. I think you asked me to call you Maddie. Hello, welcome. I am trying to wind down, but y'all keep talking to me, so I'm just going to keep going until I absolutely run out of gas. So keep them coming if you guys have questions. I feel like the Imogen and Becky become friends because people close to her were gone, and Jenna already had Allie and Claire. I can see that, yeah, because they needed to give Imogen a girl bestie now that Fiona was gone, so I can see that. Degrassi should do another movie like Degrassi Goes Hollywood. No. I mean, it's hard for me because I don't like any of the Degrassi movie stuff. Like, I guess I technically kind of like Degrassi Goes Manhattan, but only because it's the best of the worst. Like, I hate Don't Look Back. I don't like Goes Hollywood. I don't, and I started the stream with saying I don't like Schools Out. I don't really like their movies, so I'm not sure I can agree. I am you, Mary Mortician, on the subreddit for anyone familiar with. I mostly shitpost. Shitposting, A-okay by me. I'm gonna use the bathroom and have another sip. Shoot. So, do actual YouTubers like have something playing when they walk off to use the bathroom, or do they just hold it the entire time? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. Well, I'm not a real YouTuber, so BRB. Alright, so here's a question. Do people say slaps anymore? Like, oh my god, that slaps? Because I gotta say, a lot of Maya's music unironically slaps. Like, Not Okay, that's a really good song. I love it. Hey, hey, this is not okay. Hey, hey, I said no way. Don't say I gotta chill. That's mess, that's not cool. Just take care of yourself, cause I'm no fool. Ah, it's great, I love it. Alright, let's see what you guys have been cooking up while I walked away. Jonah isn't a good boyfriend. He invalidates Frankie's feelings from the start, even before they started dating. Yeah, Jonah! I feel like Jonah was like... basically what I thought a cool boyfriend would have been when I was in high school, and I liked toxic Eli. I was one of those high schoolers who was like, yeah, I would date a serial killer. It'd be so cool. Like, no. Like, Jonah's got a lot to learn, man. Like, he might have gotten better by season 4, but, he was not nice in Degrassi Next Class season 1. Which characters have done the hypocrite dance? Example, when Jenna didn't like Bianca for cheating with Drew, even though the previous season she kind of did the same thing. That's a good point. I love... you really called out Jenna there. Like, even more than Drew called her out in that scene about them being teen parents. Like, yeah. Who did the hypocrite dance? I feel like Emma did, but I can't... Man, well, I guess Caitlin didn't know that Jesse was going with Ellie, but yeah, she helped Jesse cheat, even though she got cheated on by Joey with Tessa fucking Campanelli. Fucking Tessa Campanelli, sorry. They don't really have a BRB message, but you don't need it. Cool. Okay. Yeah. I don't watch streams, really. Yeah. I just kind of wing this whole stream thing. In the new Degrassi, Imogen needs to be the guidance counselor, art teacher. Art teacher. Definitely art teacher. She can't be anything other than the guidance counselor. I've decided. Hello, Kayleen Lucier. Sorry, I don't mind. I cannot talk today. I suck at pronunciation. There we go. Not that hard. Does my being kidnapped ever get brought up again in the series? I feel like it would leave a lot of trauma. You would think that, but no, not really. Yeah, no, it does not come up again. Which a little bit why I don't like the Don't Look Back movie thing. Like, it has a little bit of effect on the plot. Like, it breaks up Winston and Frankie, and it gets Zoe hanging out with Grace, but that's about it. Otherwise, it doesn't have any other pull on the story, and it's just so fucking stupid. I hate this movie so much, and I haven't even watched... I watched it once, and I still hate it. I think I tried to start watching it at one point, but then stopped, and then I watched it the whole way through so then I can make a video about it, and I still hated it. Same as Emma being held hostage. Oh! Yeah, that would involve a bit of trauma. I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, it didn't come up, so I'm not sure. Yeah, that's a good point. But I'm not sure if there was a really good way to bring it back up. I don't think of it as hypocrisy from certain characters as much as learning from their own mistakes and not wanting others to make the same mistakes. I'm assuming Emma hostage situation with throwaway for a pilot. No, I think maybe, but no, I think it could have also been in season 3. Her dad finds her and Spike and basically doesn't let them leave or call anyone. I think that's what they mean. Yes, Last Exit. I have Last Exit downloaded. Yeah, me too. I've got Last Exit. Not okay. I think Black and White, and the one that goes like, you got me spinning and I wanna get off. My heart keeps spinning and I wanna get off. Something like that. Dun, 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 dun. I unironically just like Maya's songs. I don't know why. They're like the only songs that stick with me from the show. Maybe I really am a modern thing after all. I hate that Zoe went from sympathetic at the end of season 13 back to her mean girl self. I don't think she necessarily stopped being mean girl. I think she was still sympathetic all the way through season 14. Like, she was at least relatable. You understood her. Like, she made bad choices and harmed other people, but I mean, I can understand why she did it. She viewed Degrassi nudes as taking something that guys seem to impose on girls and have the girls sort of reap benefits from it. Like a sort of female empowerment to take control of this thing guys are sort of doing to girls. That's how she saw it. And I can relate to that. I can understand that. So I don't really think she necessarily stepped back. I think it's just another step on her road to being a good person and valuing the effect her actions have on others. I still ship Cam and Maya together. Sorry for saying that out loud. No, don't be sorry. You're good, man. You're good. Even if I don't agree, you're good. I would have liked to see Cam and Maya together with Cam being more healthy. I don't feel like we really got a chance to really see them together. And it sucks. It's French, so no one can pronounce it well. Okay, challenge accepted. Is it Lucier? I took 1 or 2 years of French in high school. Remember hardly anything from it, but, especially pronunciation, but I still tried. This might sound weird, but look back. Be murder mystery based on the promo. It kind of was seeming to be a murder mystery. Like, that was the idea with the sudden disappearance of Gloria What's-Her-Fuck. It was still bad. Frankie wasn't being empowered. Zoe was being abusive. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Zoe was basically empowering herself, but then forcing it on other people. Like, forcing other people to do the thing that she was choosing to do, which really was not okay. Like, it's not empowering to be harmful to other people in that way. No, Zoe. I don't care if you feel empowered to use your body to financially gain. I don't care. You can't force other people to do the same. Don't Look Back. It was basically a DCOM, Disney Channel original movie. Kinda. Yeah, kinda. I mean, even some Disney Channel original movies were good too, but kinda. It was not Degrassi, I'll tell you that. Oh, good. Cool. Don't expect me to pronounce your name right again. My memory sucks. I am unreliable. And yeah, I'm asking you guys to rely on me to remember Degrassi. I definitely understand Zoe's reasons, but in my opinion, some of her antics are worthy of criminal charges. Yeah. She basically, she ran kind of the equivalent of a brothel, like a modern day chat brothel, and forced the girls to participate. Like, even if it wasn't as forceful as it was with Frankie with the other girls, it's still there was still a pressure, you put up pictures or bad things. Rick should have been in a different school or homeschooled. None of this would have happened after what he did to Terry. Yeah. I understand why Rick specifically wanted to go back to Degrassi, but it was not a good move, and I do wish someone would have stepped in to stop it. No. Bad. Naughty. Lucas is Jonah. How do you mean? I can definitely see overlapping connections, but I do think Jonah was at least a little bit better than Lucas. I don't have a lot of love for Lucas. I don't. I mean, part of it's because I don't remember too much of his part of the show, but he's also not a cool person to me. I know it's normal for TV shows, but I always wish there was like a group of theater kids instead of all the regular cast members starring in plays. Yeah, I feel like they did kind of have that, what do you call it? Kind of have that dynamic in season 10, it was, where very particular characters were involved with theater, like Eli and Claire and Adam. They're involved with the techie stuff. They weren't like on the stage, but they were just there. I liked that. Yeah, I do think sometimes the show does well with having particular characters involved with theater, but then other times not so much. Like, man, I would have loved Tristan to have, like, them to have capitalized more on Tristan's love for the theater. He only got to play Jules in Romeo and Jules, and that was it. That was the extent of his love for theater. Like, damn, that's not fair. Speaking of which, I would have loved to see the after effects on Terry. I've heard she had permanent brain injury, albeit a mild one. Yeah, I part of me understands writing her off the show, but other part of me is like, why though? Especially with how they handled it. Like, they did not seem to really explain their decision well to the actress either. Like, I know, like, I watched a video where Christina Schmidt explained that she had a lot of, like, baggage and trauma, like, a lot of bad feelings about being the first one to be written off the show. And that suggests that her getting written off, one, wasn't her decision, two, was not well handled. That's not fair to her. And it makes me wonder, why? Why did it happen then? I don't mean Becky's brother, Lucas. I'm talking about Jane's brother. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. I thought Becky's brother was named Luke, not Lucas. I don't know. I thought it was Luke. With Zig, I don't like when characters change with little no explanation, show don't tell. I think Zig is one of the few characters, I think he's one of the characters that shifted in season 13 in a way that I understood. Like, Maya was kind of absent all summer, and then she comes back to school basically on Miles's arm. After she told him that she'd wait, suddenly she's with some other rando? Like, yeah, that's not cool. And, like, we know over the summer, like, the gang situation just got worse, and he kind of got sucked up into Tiny and Vince's gang, and his one other friend basically got swallowed up into a rival gang, so all he could do was lean into the gang life. He didn't have Maya anymore, and he didn't have all the friends that came with Maya, and he didn't have Damien, so what else could he do? They had that when Tristan and Tori was introduced. Yeah, they were very, theater people, and I wish they would have had more Zig, or more, Tristan in theater. Did Andrew Lewis have similar experience? Yeah, so her story of it is that she would pitch stories to the team because they were doing absolutely nothing with her character after a certain point, and no reception. She just stayed on the show as a glorified extra, basically Paige's sidekick and Jimmy's girlfriend. And no one really would explain why. She claims that at some point someone told her that it's because of her race. Which, yikes, if true. Like, yeah, that was, again, another not good situation. And Jamil French, the guy who played Dave, rest in peace, man. he kind of had another similar situation where the writers basically said, yeah, we don't really have plans for you in season 13. We're just going to kind of make you a glorified extra. And he was like, no, I've got ideas for this character. Like, he's not done. I'm not going to just become an extra. Either you give me more to do or I walk. And, well, that's why we don't see Dave anymore. I mean, that's the rumor that I've heard, at least. Terry and Spinner would have been a nice ship, even though a lot of good came out of Spinner and Paige. I would have been curious to see Terry and Spinner. I don't know how long Terry could have put up with him. Terry just seems to bring out the best in most people. I hope so. I mean, she's not perfect herself, but yeah. When the Degrassi reboot happened, Spinner and Emma gets divorced. Emma and Sean get back together, and Spinner gets together with Terry. I always want Terry and Spinner to get together. I'm curious what they would have been when they almost got together in junior high, and then I am also curious to see if they'd be compatible to get together as adults, because junior high Spinner and adult Spinner are two very different people, so I'm quite curious. Also, a bit off topic. Your outfit reminds me of that one vampire character from Resident Evil. Okay, I've never played Resident Evil, but cool, I'm glad. With the hat and a little bit of the makeup, I was going for a 1920s look, and then the dress, like, I don't know. That's what I felt like matched. Alright, definite last call for stuff. I'm gonna finish this off and start moving over to water. I wonder if it's because I've been on a 4 10-hour days shift schedule, and I think that's zapping all my energy by 8:30, so maybe that's why I'm feeling suddenly so oppressingly tired. Fuck, maybe I need to start these streams around 6, considering I go to bed like a grandma now. I mean, I dress like a grandma, might as well act like one. Damn kids, get off my lawn. Back in my day, we watched Eli and Claire and Adam and Drew and Allie and Dave and Wesley and Connor and Sav and all that other stuff. We didn't have no Instagram, I don't think. We had Facky Book. That's what we had. Oh my Lord, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I've been watching Degrassi, and I noticed that they wrote off Toby's dad. Even after the shooting, only Allie's mom is there. I'm not sure what happened with Toby's dad. Like, I don't know if the actor was unavailable or something. I know, like, for instance, with Miss Avery in Degrassi High and then later Mr. Radich in Degrassi TNG, like, they both got written off because they couldn't really financially justify the show anymore. Like, the Degrassi doesn't pay very much. And so both the actors for Miss Avery and Mr. Radich, like, they had to make the financial decision that made sense for them and had to go. Unfortunately, that led to Mr. Radich's character kind of getting dragged through the mud, but do what you gotta do to write him off, I guess. Just sucks, you know? I liked Mr. Radich. He was an asshole, but he was also cool. Does that make sense? Like, I always think about him seeing Terry, talking to Craig, comforting him after his dad dying, and, you know, he went over there to talk to Craig himself, like, you know, because he had just, like, rampaged on the school dance, but then he just, like, he walks away, like, Terry's got it. He trusts Terry to help him. That was cool. I liked that. Why'd they have to do Raj dirty? Sad. Always nice to catch one of these live. Hello, Squirtle Squad G! I'm glad you could step in because I am trying to wrap up a little bit, but I'm happy to keep talking for a bit longer. So you got something to say? Say it now, or forever hold your peace until the last live stream at least. Tessa Campanelli should have returned to Degrassi TNG and have a fanfic idea where she had Joey's kid. I think, it's an interesting idea to see, like, the idea that she did go through and have Joey's kid, but I feel pretty confident that she's certain of her decision to have an abortion. I don't know what she could have done in TNG, though, other than have some awkwardness with her and Caitlin and Joey. It would have been interesting, definitely, to see for people who know the older shows, but then, like, for the kids who are there to see the kids, like, It would have been interesting, though. It really would have. What would you rate Take On Me, my personal favorite episode of all time? Hello, XV Ryan. I'm not sure I understand the question, but Take On Me is one of my favorite episodes of all time, particularly because I love the Breakfast Club, and I think it really does pay homage to the Breakfast Club. Like, I did a whole video comparing the episode Take On Me to a kind of similar-ish episode from Victorious called The Breakfast Bunch. And Degrassi blows it all out of the water, I gotta say. I think the thing is, Raditch never really had a strong enough redemption after Rick. He wasn't really given the chance, because after Rick, the guy playing him was leaving the show. Like, there was not time to really soften his character, really. It was like time to get out. No real chance. Hello, it's a metaphor. Thoughts on Fiona and Imogen together? I thought they were a cute couple. I do think Imogen definitely needed some growing to do, some maturity, because she really didn't trust Fiona. Like, she confided a lot of stuff in Fiona, but also just kept a lot of things from her too. I think it'd be cool to see them come back together later in life, because they were really cute, and I liked them as a couple. I was rooting for them. The main reason Ashley is a bad person is that when she thought Toby had an eating disorder, she said, usually a garburator. I don't know how she said that. Not what you say to someone with an eating disorder. Oh my god, what the fuck, Ash? Yeah, I mean, I will say in her defense, eating disorders, in pop culture at least, was not very well understood at the time she was coming up, but yeah, Ash, she has a bad habit of saying the wrong thing, and wow, Ash, way to say the wrong thing. Good job. Oh, whoa, great. Oh. I love that episode. That's the most love I've seen Toby get from anyone other than JT Lamau. Yeah, man, they did Toby fucking dirty. After, like, season 2, he was just a glorified extra. Like, that is not fair to Toby. Like, I don't care if the guy wasn't a good actor. Write him off the fucking show, then. I hate it. Now, for example, Nina had left the show during season 9. I no longer remember what that was about now. I thought Ash was being a good sister in that ep, for all it's worth. Yeah, I feel like in part she was being a good sister, but she did not say a good thing. I think she meant well. I think she meant well in that, like, trying to say, hey, your eating habits have drastically changed from how they usually are. I am concerned. She did not say that well at all, though. That's one thing I always want to do. Talk to Dan Woods, aka Raditch, and ask him about season 4 of Next Generation and his character in it, but he doesn't have Twitter and not a big social media presence. Yeah, he was at, Degrassi Palooza, but I didn't end up asking any questions, I don't think. The only thing I remember was him explaining why he had left the show. And JT being a pal, I have such a soft spot for JT. Oh, I know that. Yeah, all respect to you, I know that. Hello, Smurf Boy 92. I'm gonna be honest, I don't feel bad for Holly J during the I Hate Holly J episode. She spent most of her time being rude to everyone, so it's no wonder they all turn on her at some point. Yeah. I feel for her, like, it does suck for, like, when everyone turns on you so openly and then, like, sending death threats. But it's also like, Holly J, you did kind of earn some of this at least. Like, you've been a royal bitch to basically everyone. Hot take, Tessa really did nothing wrong. The only one who was truly wrong was Joey. I kind of agree. Like, yeah, it was kind of shitty of Tessa to move in on Joey when it seemed that like things were going wrong with him and Caitlyn, but also like she was under the impression that things had gone so wrong with him and Caitlyn that they had broken up. She did not know that she was helping Joey to cheat on Caitlyn. She had no idea. So you can't really blame Tessa for that. Yeah, it's a little bit like the Manny situation, only Manny started out knowing she was helping Craig cheat with her, so cheat on Ashley, so not quite, but it ended kind of the same way. And I'm glad that the show did bring up, like, the stark comparisons between Joey, Tessa, and Caitlyn, and then Craig, Ashley, and Manny. Watch Schools Out expecting to hate Tessa for being the other woman, but just felt awful for her. Yeah. It might have been nice to have an episode like the I Hate Ollie J episode a little further into her character arc. Maybe. I think this did add into, like, Holly J kind of coming around. Like, understanding how horrible she was being. And, like, sort of light the fire under her bottom to change. Alright. Unfortunately, I'm going to call it, like, seriously last call for stuff. Like, I am really tired. I did not get drunk enough to get alcohol energy, and I am really feeling bedtime. And it sucks because it's only like 9:30 here, guys. Man. Random question. Didn't they sell the lot that used to shoot the show? Do you think the HBO version most likely takes place on Brand New Looking School? Yeah, it'll have to, because they did sell the lot, unfortunately. Like, they auctioned it off. Man, yeah. That sucks. Another hot take. Frankie is actually a well-written character, and I'm ready to debate it. I am ready to defend you. I will stand with you. Frankie's a well-written character. I don't like her as a person very much, but I will defend that she is well-written. Yeah. Agreed. I have lost my thought. Oh, no. Shoot. I wish they carried some plot lines over to next class, like Tristan exploring trauma about Yates. Yeah, that would have been cool too, like, because they kind of just dropped it a bit. They did, like, drag some things over into next class, but in a way where it's subtle. Like, where it informs what some of the characters do, but not in an explicit way. And I kind of understand why they had to do that. Again, only 10 episodes to tell a story, but also, like, man, that sucks. I can never dislike Holly J because I had a huge bias for Charlotte Arnold. She was my favorite childhood show. I can respect that. Yeah. Hot take. Lakers should not have transferred to Degrassi in the first place after what happened with JT's death, with one student killing him. I'm going to get a lot of hate. Well, I hope you don't, because that's not fair to you. I honestly don't think there's really much they could have done, because Degrassi was probably the closest school they could have transferred Lakehurst students to, and I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't even all of Lakehurst students. Like, it could have been like they broke Lakehurst up into a couple different sections, so then like the characters who lived closest to the Degrassi line then got transferred to Degrassi. It sucked because, yeah, they had like one of the Lakehurst students had killed a Degrassi student, but I wouldn't be surprised if the school district's hands were just tied. What's your opinion on Holly J's diatribe towards her birth mom about the $20K for her kidney? I both understand and also, I don't know, I can understand where she's come from. Like, man, you can't do this thing to me, for me, like, you're a child. I am going to probably die if I don't get a kidney, and you won't do this for me. But then I also understand Holly J's mom, wherein, like, I mean, some people pointed out that there probably was financial help for someone in her position. So that's a question, but like if there wasn't, then yeah, she had 2 babies to support, and donating kidney is very financially costly, if not just for the fact that she'd have to take time off work, a lot of time off work, to recover. I kind of see the shooting at the dot as Holly J seeing how far she's come, like a second I Hate Holly J episode. A little bit, yeah. Like a little bit, yeah. I can see it, because it's another instance of her seeing the effects of how she's treated people. Like, the dude remembered how she treated him and others at Lakehurst. So she's seeing the effects of that. Well, I don't like Maya as a person very much, but she's still my favorite character because how well she was written. Yeah, I can agree too. I don't always agree with Maya. I don't like her in certain instances, but I will defend her to the death because she is a well-written character. She's one of the few very well-written people in season 13, all of season 13. I like it. When did Degrassi change from middle school to a full high school? I remember they started including 9th grade, but suddenly they stopped having middle school. Did I miss them? No, they just kind of quietly dropped the middle school stuff. Yeah. They just decided to follow the kids as they age and just not talk about it, which I guess that's okay. Like, I'm okay with just retconning in my head, well, they eventually built a brand new middle school or moved the middle schoolers to another school. Tiny feels like a completely different character in next class. Yes, but I have an idea. Like, I feel like Tiny was always the adorable nerdy type. But because of his brother's influence and basically being forced into his brother's gang, he was never allowed to express that. But then, now that he's living with his aunt, now he can be the adorable nerd keener that he's always been, and I love it. The guy who played Tristan played the brain on Arthur for a while. Really? I had no idea. Sugoi ne? If you can't be mad, you can't be mad, Holly J. He was either there or die. I feel like the school board could have at least sent Johnny specifically to a different school. He had to be in the police report. They knew what sent him to do. I wouldn't be surprised if they just did not think about it or consider it. Like, they just didn't care. It was just more like, we're freaking out. Like, the school burned down. Quick, you go to that school. You go to that school. You go to that school. Dunzo. More bigger fish to fry, I guess. Yeah, I can definitely see Tiny as always being a nerd. That's at least how I think of him as, and I'm comfortable with that. Spinner makes a comment about high school closing down, forcing Degrassi to become grade 7 through 12. Yeah, but, in the next couple seasons, we suddenly stopped seeing grade schoolers, middle schoolers all together, so it seems at some point Degrassi became just a high school. All right, I think I'm going to shut it down here, guys. I'm done. I quit. No more. No, someone else came in. All right, quick one. I wish the writers gave Zane more to do than just be Riley's boyfriend. I saw him being president. We saw him being president of the LGBTQ club when he confronted Dave. Yeah, Zane needed more to do. I liked him. Sucked. He really sucked. Yeah. All right. That's it. I am closing the chat officially. Thank you all so very much for coming out. Like, this has been a blast. I hope y'all have a good night, a good rest of the week, a good start of the week, and until next time, I'm going to be releasing a video in the next couple days. I hope y'all like it. Thank you very much for consuming this stream, and until next time, Vamp out.